Well, this post I'm going to talk about a very interesting subject, and it's something we're seeing more and more problems coming through our diagnostic shop with. And it's something when you ask people what's in it, they can't even give an answer. It's actually about tuning, and a particular type of tuning that seems to be growing, but I don't know whether it's going to grow forever, and that's remapping. Changing the brain in your computer. It's been something that's been done in petrol cars for a very, very long time, but nobody's really been able to sort of do much of that with diesels up until only recent years. So firstly, there's definitely not a lot of experience in this market for remapping, but secondly, a lot of the remapping comes across, of course, from the petrol game. Well, one big thing that I keep asking people when they come in here and they've got problems is, what's your remap doing? All I can say, if you have a remap in your vehicle, go back to the place where you had it done and tell them to specify exactly what it's doing. What is it altering? You might all of a sudden find he ums and ahs and goes, I don't really know. I tell you, that'll be probably the answer from most, because there's probably only a few guys that actually build maps around this country, and most of the guys out there doing remapping are what we call slave tuners. They may not tell you that, but they're buying a map that's been built by somebody else that hasn't even seen your car, and they install it on your car. So I don't know how good that is, but it's certainly called slave tuning, and that means that the guy that installed it probably doesn't even know it was done. And I've asked a few shops that have called for advice before, and I said, well, what's in the remap that you're fitting? And they've said, well, look, I'm uncomfortable because I actually don't know what's actually in it. It certainly makes power. Well, of course, I advise it's easy to make power with a diesel. I mean, here's a V8 Cruiser. These things are so underpowered, it's not funny. And of course, with any sort of performance tuning, they get a good power gain. Everybody smiles and everybody forgets how it's done. We still prefer, for our main format of tuning in here at Remapping Diesel, obviously removable remaps or plug-in products. So basically that means you've got a product like a module with a program on it, and it can be plugged into the vehicle, and if you've got a problem or anything needs adjusting or changing, you can unplug it. But just remember, with a remap, it's in your vehicle and it's in there to stay. You have to go back to the guy who did it to have anything changed. When you're actually out on a bush track or you're a long way away from home and something goes wrong, you just can't unplug it. You just can't take it out. So something that's really growing in here, with people Facebooking us and calling me up all the time. I'm flat out here as it is, and I get lots of calls for this, and we also get problem vehicles in here. And all I say to people that have got remaps on is ask what is on that remap. What is it actually doing? What's it changing? And you'll end up finding out that probably it's just adjusting a torque limiter or some real simple things, and you've paid big money, or it's something that they can't even explain. So I'm all for diesel tuning. This is our game. We've been in it for a very, very long time, and we take our hat off to the other tuning guys that are out there doing professional, long-lasting tunes. But I can tell you now, we're seeing with the remapping scene, we're seeing a lot of inexperience, because remember, it's only a new technique. We actually can do this stuff here. We do it sometimes when we're diagnosing vehicles. We need to get into the ECU. So we can certainly remap as well here, but we don't use it for tuning, because we prefer plug-in modules for our main customer base. But when it comes back to you as the owner, ask the guy who's doing the remap, what is it changing? Get the specifics, ask the questions. You'll probably find that he's left there faltering, going, I'm not really sure myself. So for more information, you can go to remappingdiesel.com, or you can get onto our Facebook and watch YouTubes just like this. But certainly, keep asking questions. That's the best thing you can do out there in the market, and look for the right answers. I'm Andrew from Remapping Diesel.